Okay, so the first set of questions that we are going to be solving today are reading and writing fill in the blanks. These are the ones where you get a drop down list. We are going to look at how we go about solving the questions. I'll try to keep it brief, but this lesson is going to run a little bit long because I really want to cover the sort of confusion aspect, that once you are confused between all the options, what is that sort of final deciding call, that is the differentiation between the correct answer and the incorrect answer, right? And these are high weighted questions, so you really want to understand today how I'm not going to tell you this is the question, this is the answer, but I'm going to tell you this is the question and this is why this can't be the answer, right? So please really focus on paying attention to the solving process, because that is important. Okay, so let us look at this question. Take 2 minutes, read the passage, do whatever you do, mark your answers, right? Once you have that, then you play the explanation part. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much detail of how to solve it, right? Because that's totally another entire class altogether, how to go about approaching that, right? But today just want to take up these specific questions and basically the answers that are correct or that are incorrect, right? So once you have marked all your answers, then you want to see, right, whether you got them right, whether you got them wrong. So let me take this up. Most of you will probably get an A wrong because it is confusing, so I will discuss that. B, okay, you got it wrong. Okay, I will discuss that. C is definitely worth discussing. It is again a commonly confused sort of idiom situation. D is also really important. I think E, most of you are getting right. Okay, so this is good. Great. So I feel that A, B, C and D need discussion, and E, most of you got it right. So let's get into it. The first one says, Richard Morris of the School of Accounting at the University of NSW, which requires an entrance score in the top 5% of students, says attendance has been a problem since the late 1990s. Sometimes in the lectures, we've only got about 1/3 of students who are attending the classes, right? So the first thing is that 1/3 of the students, 1/3 out of the total number of students, right, who are attending the classes, 1/3 of the students enrolled. There is not involved or participated. I know reserved is something that nobody has marked, but some of you have marked involved, some of you have marked participated, and some of you have marked enrolled, and some of you are not sure why it is enrolled, and you're not sure why it is ED right over there. So 1/3 of the students enrolled in the lectures are actually showing up, right? So that is what the correct answer is. The correct answer is enrolled, because it is 1/3 of the total enrolled, right? 1/3 of the total students enrolled. Who are is silent, it is implied, it is not given explicitly, and therefore sometimes in the lectures we've only got about 1/3 of enrolled students attending. Another way to say that is 1/3 of students enrolled who are attending, right? So just helps you see the sentence structure, and that's why the answer for the blank A was enrolled. I hope it is clear now. Good. Let's go to the second one. It definitely is a problem. If you don't turn up to class, you're missing out on the whole richness of the experience. I think that most of you got this right. Some of you have marked varieties. Okay, so I will clarify that. Guys, the whole dash of the experience. The whole variety would have been okay, but not varieties of the experience, because it is a singular noun that is implied, right? Okay, and the idiom or the word phrase going together, which is commonly known as a collocation, right? The whole richness of the experience also, how we describe it, right? That if you don't turn up to class, you're actually missing out on it, right? Okay, and it is not varieties because it is not a plural thing. It is the whole, right? The whole, right? And richness of the experience. Please make sure that, so how could you have avoided this error? You could have actually read out the sentence after you fill the blanks. You could have actually read out the sentence, right? So that is something that I strongly recommend. Once you are done solving and filling your blanks, just read them out loud in your mind, because had you done that, it would have immediately become clear to you that the whole richness of the experience fits far better than the whole varieties of the experience, right? Okay, so yeah, grammatically, collocation wise, the errors are hard to pick out because they can be confusing, but the focus is that a collocation is something which is being used in the day-to-day language of the native like speakers, right? Speakers who are native users, right? So if you don't have native like English, it is going to be very hard for you to spot this, right? So make sure that you read it out loud. It does help in that way. Let's look at option C. Now option C, some of you have marked doom, some of you have marked groom, some of you have marked sad. So all of us know something negative, but it is bright, nobody has marked. That's a good thing. Groom, guys, it's not gloom, it is groom, right? Groom is like bridegroom, right? The guy that marries the bride, right? So this is not gloom, right? Doom and gloom is an idiom, and therefore it can be very confusing here, right? So the correct answer for blank C is sad. It is not all sad, said Professor John Dern, a pro-vice chancellor at the University of Canberra. It is not all bad. Would obviously have been a very perfect fit. Remember, we are not looking for a perfect answer. We are looking for the least wrong answer. That is how we are approaching PTE. Okay, so bright it can't be because it is not all bright. He's saying that it is not all bad, right? That's what my meaning is, right? Okay, that is what my predicted answer in the blank is, that it's not all bad, not everything is bad, right? The internet is there and people are actually using it to access some information, right? But definitely he's saying that it is bright is out. Groom means the guy that the bride marries, so that is out. So the choice is between it is not all doom and it is not all sad, right? So it is not all doom and gloom would be the idiom, and therefore the correct answer is sad, even though it's kind of not a very great answer, right? It doesn't seem perfect, so please take care of that. The answer will not seem perfect, right? That is the whole point. If you mark answers based on what appears perfect to you, right? That's how the test is designed, to confuse you. So please make sure that you are making sure that you mark the least wrong answer. Okay, then going on to the blank D, right? Blank D talks about the fact that the internet, now here some of you have marked changing and some of you have marked transforming. Now if it is not all sad, and therefore means that the internet is being helpful in some way, right? And therefore the answer is transforming, which is a positive change, and not just changing, which is a neutral word, right? And therefore this is the importance of tone. Of course, nobody has marked exchanging and transporting, which is good, so those two are directly out. The call was between changing versus transforming. It is not all sad makes it easy for me to mark that it is not negative and therefore something is positive. Both the blanks coming in the same sentence are linked in terms of opposite tone. Please remember that when two blanks come in the same sentence, they are going to be linked, they are going to be dependent on each other for the answer. So please take care of that as well. So the internet was transforming the way the students access and use information. Therefore this trend that people are not showing up for lectures, it's not all bad, it's not all sad, it's not all doom and gloom. And E option was great, all of you got it right. Traditional lectures seem to persist. Traditional lectures are lectures which are not online, which are not done with the help of the internet, right? So I think nobody has marked typical or classical or academic, so that's very good. Traditional lectures is also a collocation, right? Traditional classroom format of lectures, right, where the attendance is now dropping, also fits in with the meaning of the passage, right? So I hope that you have now understood how to go about figuring your answers. So if out of these 5 blanks you got the first 4 wrong, now you know the reason, yeah.